we will continue with the next problem. Here the question is, current ratio of a company is 2:1. State giving reasons which of the following would improve, reduce or not change the ratio. So in this question various transactions would be given to you. On the basis of various transactions, we will see how these transactions will impact current assets and current liabilities, and then what would be the final effect of change in current assets and current liabilities on current ratio. We just have to, with the reason, we have to explain whether current ratio will increase or whether it will decrease or whether current ratio will not change. Let's take up different cases one by one. First case is, now you should know that since in the question it is given that the current ratio is 2:1. So in this case you can assume certain value of current assets and current liabilities. Suppose, since in order to maintain ratio 2:1, so as we know that current ratio is current assets divided by current liabilities, and for the ratio to be 2:1, current assets, if for example if I take current assets to be 20,000 and current liabilities to be 10,000, so if I divide 20,000 by 10,000, like I've taken CA 20,000 and CLS 10,000, so if I divide 20,000 by 10,000 in order to get current ratio, it will be 2:1, right? So this is one of the way that, since it is given in the question that current ratio is 2:1, so I will take the value of current assets to be 20,000 and current liabilities to be 10,000. Now let's take up case by case. Repayment of current liability, right? Since I told you that I've assumed current assets to be 20,000 and current liability to be 10,000, and it has been given that a current liability has been paid. So the amount is not given, how much current liability has been paid. So you assume that the current liability to be paid is, say, rupees 5,000, right? Now we will see the impact of the payment of current liability worth 5,000 on current ratio. So as you know, current liability is paid means it will be paid out of either cash or through, you can say, check, right? So it means it will bring about decrease in cash and cash equivalents, one, right? So cash and cash equivalents are part of current assets, so it means payment of current liability will decrease in a way current assets. Similarly, we see what impact it will have, the repayment of current liability of 5,000 will have on current liability. You know that if current liability is paid, current liability will reduce, right? So let's take up, let current assets 20,000 is the initial value that we assume. 5,000 suppose cash have been paid in order to pay off the current liability, so the new current assets are 15,000. Similarly, current liability of 5,000 have been paid. It means the current liability has also reduced from 10,000, which we assumed, minus 5,000, it has reduced to 5,000. Now I will find the, you can say, the new ratio, 15,000 divided by 5,000, and the new ratio is coming out to be 3:1. If you see in the question, it was given that initial current ratio is 2:1. Now after paying of liability of, say, 5,000, the ratio has increased from 2:1 to 3:1. So you will comment that current ratio will improve, or you can also write that current ratio will increase. Now let's take up the next case, purchase of good on cash. So again, purchase of good on cash. Cash, of course, cash has been used in order to purchase goods. Cash means cash will decrease, right? It means current assets will decrease, equivalent to cash that has been paid to purchase goods. Now goods, are part of inventory. Again, inventory is part of, you can say, current assets. So you can say that purchase of good on cash will impact two current assets. It will impact cash, it will impact stock or inventory. Inventory will increase, cash will decrease. Will it have any effect on current liability? No, it will. Purchase of good on cash will not have any impact on current liability. Current liability will remain unchanged. So you can see that you can also do it if you're not taking the value. The second way of doing such sum is that current asset, let it have some value, minus x plus x. Minus x means that the cash have been paid, right, in order to purchase, you can say, goods. And since goods are purchased, stock increases by x. Current divided by CL, current liability not impacted by purchase of goods on credit. So you can see that net impact, that plus x minus x, or minus 5000 plus 5000, 0. So nothing, there will be no change in the current ratio, as current assets will not change, current liabilities will not change, so there is no change in the current ratio. Now let's take up the sale of office equipment for 4000, right? Sale of office equipment for 4000, book value 5000. It means the value of original value, or the value at which it has been written in the book of accounts, is 5000, but it has been sold at 4000, right? So 4000 is the selling price, book value of office equipment is 5000. Please note, office equipment is a tangible fixed asset, right? So we know that current ratio is CA upon CL. So it means that sale of equipment, office equipment, will not impact, you can say, the current assets. But of course, since sale has taken place, office equipment is a fixed asset, but sale has taken place, it means cash worth 4000 have come in the company, as office equipment has been sold for 4000. So you can say that cash, current ratio is CA plus, say, 4000 cash have, which has increased due to sale of office equipment, no other change in current assets, divided by current liabilities. Again, purchase of sale of office equipment will have no impact on current liabilities. So you can say that only assets are increasing, right? And if assets are increasing, it means that numerator is increasing, and it means that current liability remaining unchanged, it means that current ratio will improve or increase. Let's take up next case, purchase of stock in trade on credit. So purchase of stock, it means purchase of stock, inventory will increase, and we know that inventory or stock is part of current assets. So current assets plus stock, or you can say x plus x, in bracket you can write stock. And but since the stock is not purchased on cash, but it has been purchased on credit, it means current liability will also increase. So you can say CL plus x, or plus, you can say, credit purchase, right? So x, suppose a certain amount is added with the numerator with the current assets, and certain amount is also added with the current liability, since denominator is increasing, right? So the overall impact is that current ratio will decrease. You can take up value 20,000, as I told you, the first way of doing it. I take 20,000 to be current assets, I take 10,000 to be current liabilities. So if I take stock to be 5,000, it will be 25,000 divided by 15,000, right? So if I calculate, the value will come out less than 2:1. So that is another way of doing. Whichever way you want, you just have to identify with the reason whether current ratio will increase, decrease, or it will not change, right? So it means that the current ratio will decrease. So I think so it's better if you don't understand this way, since you are beginners, right? If you just started doing the topic, if you don't understand, you can assume values. Always assume values and see whether the what change in current ratio takes place. Now let's take up the next case, sale of goods worth 11,000, cost 10,000. It means goods were, the cost of goods was of 10,000, that is the stock is worth 10,000, which are sold, or inventory is worth 10,000, which is sold. So it means stock will reduce, since it's sold, sale will reduce stock by 10,000. You can see that minus stock 10,000 from current assets. And since there's a sale of 11,000, it means cash will increase by 11,000. 11,000 will be added to current assets, and 10,000 will be subtracted, that is stock will be subtracted. Net impact is 11,000 minus 10,000, 1,000 increase. So current assets are increasing by 1,000, whereas current liability is not impacted by this transaction, sale of goods on cash, of course, of 11,000. So current liabilities remain unchanged. So the net impact is that current ratio will improve. Let's take up the next case, payment of dividend. Now the installment of dividend to be paid, please note, you know that dividend is to be paid on the equity shares. So the installment of dividend to be paid is always current liability. Whatever amount of dividend needs to be paid in a particular year, right, on the equity shares out of net profit, that portion of dividend that is payable or needs to be paid in that year or is paid in that year is current liability. Now payment of dividend I've told you that a current liability installment means current liability has been paid, so it means current liability will reduce equivalent to the dividend payable. It will reduce, and you know that dividend payable is also outstanding liability, right? So current liability minus dividend payable, it will decrease current liability, and since dividend is paid, it will be paid out of cash, so current assets will also reduce equivalent to the cash utilized to pay of the dividend, right? So you know there is equivalent amount of decrease of current assets as well as current liability. So the net impact is that since the denominator is decreasing by the same amount, right, so the net impact is that the current ratio will improve. Again, as I told you right now just a few seconds back, that if you are not understanding by this, you can assume value, take CA as 20,000, CL as 10,000, take, say for example, dividend is say paid to be, assume it to be 5,000, you subtract 5,000 both from numerator and denominator and see the impact on current ratio. If it will be more than 2:1. So because starting point is given to be 2:1, so it will be more than, answer will come more than 2:1. It means the current ratio has increased, right? Now let's take up the next case. Here, redemption of debentures, right? This is the next thing, redemption of debentures. Again, the installment of debenture is a current liability, right? You know that suppose, but debentures we all know is a long-term borrowing, is a non-current liability or a long-term borrowing. And suppose, let's take an example, say company takes issues debenture of say 5 lakhs, they will be redeemed in 5 installments of equal amount, say 1 lakh each in every 5 years, right? 1 lakh each on plus interest. So this is the rate at which the redemption will be redeemed. So this 1 lakh amount to be paid every year along with the interest will be current liability, whereas total amount of debenture that as I told you 5 lakh will be the non-current liability or long-term borrowing. So similarly, as I told you that the installment of or the amount of debentures to be redeemed in a particular year is a current liability. Of course, it will reduce current liability. Paid means if that installment of debenture is paid, it means that current liability will reduce. So CL minus debentures, and since the debentures will be paid out of cash or through bank, whatever, it will reduce cash and cash equivalents. So CA minus cash and cash equivalents, right? We know that cash and cash equivalents are part of current assets. So there's a equal amount of decrease of both current assets and current liabilities. So you can say that since there's a decrease of the denominator, you again saying assume value 20,000, 10,000, subtract 5,000 and see, you will find that current ratio will improve. The answer will be more than 2:1. Now, I just now told you, please note, this is very important. According to Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013, a liability that is due for payment within 12 months from the date of balance sheet or within period of operating cycle is shown as current liability. I've already explained you that the installment of redemption of debenture along with the interest payable will be current liability in that year, right? Now let's take up the next thing, though I have not written the explanation. Purchase of loose tools against cash. I already told you, explained you many times that loose tools, though inventory is part of current assets, but loose tools are not included, why we calculate the current ratio, right? So purchase of loose tools will not impact inventory, but it, since they are being paid against cash, it will reduce cash and cash equivalents, and we have done that cash and cash equivalents are a part of current assets. So you can say current assets will reduce, whereas current liability will remain unchanged. So the overall impact is that the current ratio will, you can say, will decrease. Now you have receipt of a check from a debtor. Receipt of a check from a debtor, you can see that if the check is received, it will increase bank, right? Since the debtor has paid the check, it means the debtor will reduce. So debtor, we also know sundry debtor is a part of current asset. One current asset decreases and the other current asset bank increases, whereas debtor decreases. So but there will be no impact on current liabilities, as we know that receipt of a check from a debtor does not involve any change in current liability. So only change is taking place, you can say, in the current assets. One asset is increasing and other current asset is decreasing. Net impact is no impact on current assets, no change in current liability, so there will be no change in current ratio. Let's take up the next case. Included in the trade payables was a bill payable of 9,000, which was met on maturity. So bill payable met on maturity, it means bill payable met, creditor met, right? It means that the creditor has been paid. So the creditor has been paid through bank, so it will, or cash, it will. So current assets, the bill, cash and cash equivalents will reduce. So current assets will reduce by the amount, equivalent amount of what has been paid in order to a creditor in order to settle bill payable. Similarly, current liability will also reduce, because bill payable is a current liability. Since bill payable is settled, it means the current liability has reduced. So the same amount being subtracted both from numerator, that is current assets, and denominator, that are current liabilities, right? Since the same, there's a decrease in denominator by the same amount, current ratio will improve. Again, I'm telling you that if you are not understanding by this, always assume values, put the values and see what will be the final impact on the ratio. Now let's see next. Company issued 1 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each. It means the company issued equity shares, it will increase capital and it will also increase cash. If you remember, when we did accounting equations, and if suppose I need to show it in accounting equations, the impact of issue of share capital, it will increase capital plus it will increase cash also, right? So it means the current assets will increase by, say, by current assets, that is the cash will increase by 1 lakh, right? And since, okay, it's been paid to a vendor of machinery purchase, it will company issued shares. Okay, shares not for cash, but the shares are issued in order to buy machinery. So it means only capital, since cash is not involved, only capital will be impacted, will increase through equity shares. And we know that capital is not a part of, you can say, current liability. Capital is a outsider's liability, right? Or a long term, it is a part of shareholders fund. So equity share issue will not impact current liability. Since the machinery is purchased in order to buy through these equity shares, or by issuing equity shares, machinery again will not impact current assets, because machinery is, you can say, is not a current asset, it's a fixed asset. So since both current assets and current liabilities are not impacted by the issue of shares in order to buy machinery, so the net impact will be that it will not affect the current ratio, right? Company purchase, now next is company purchase furniture of 45,000 from vendor, was paid by issue of equity shares. Now furniture will not impact, purchase of furniture has no impact of on, you can say, the current assets. But similarly, the but the vendor was paid through issue of equity shares. Again, this will not impact neither current assets. It's similar to the previous one. Neither it will impact current assets nor current liabilities, because furniture is a fixed asset, whereas the issue of shares will impact shareholders fund, and shareholders fund, I just now told you, is not a current liability, right? It is a part of shareholders fund. So since both current assets and liability will not be impacted, so there will be no change in, you can say, the current ratio. So there can be any such questions which can be given to you, but the starting point you have to see, since in these cases the starting point was that the current ratio was given to be 2:1, so we assumed current assets to be 20,000 and current liabilities to be 10,000. And if in the question it is given that the current ratio is 1:1, then the answers will change. Don't cram it. 1:1 means then you have to assume current assets to be 10,000 and current liabilities also to be 10,000. 10,000 divided by 10,000 will give us 1:1. Then you can take up the different cases. What will be the impact of various transactions on current assets and current liabilities, right? So this was all about, you can say, the current ratio. And so the main points that you can say the learning objectives in current ratio are that you should first know what current ratio is. Current ratio is CA divided by CL. Then second thing is that you should know that what are the various items that are considered as current assets according to Schedule 3 of Companies Act. Various items we've already done, like cash and cash equivalents, trade receivables, inventory without or excluding loose tools and spare parts and stores, right? Then also you have other part of current assets, other current assets, current investments, marketable security, right? And other current assets involve, you can say, or include prepaid expenses or accrued incomes, right? Then you should know what are current liabilities. We've done current liabilities are trade payables. Current liabilities include the outstanding expenses. Then you have the income received in advance is other current liability. Then others are bank overdraft is a current liability. Then you have I've already told you, short term borrowings, right, is other current, it's a current liability. Then you have even loans and advances given to outsiders, that is a current asset, right? So you should know the list of current assets and current liabilities, then only you will be able to find out the ratio. And we also did that the ideal size of the ratio, it's a pure ratio, the ideal size of current ratio is 2:1. If current ratio is less than 2:1, then it's not good for the company. It should improve, right? It should have more of current assets. And if it is have more, if the ratio is more than 2:1, say it is 3:1, 4:1, 2.5:1, it means if it is more than 2:1, then also it's not good for the company, because more current assets in comparison to current liabilities, more than double the current assets, it means that the company is not taking risk, and the company and is keeping a lot of cash with it or current assets in liquid form rather than investing them outside. So these are some of the things you should be knowing, right? Thank you, and we'll continue in our next session with the next ratio. Thank you, girls.